My name is Sarah, and I am 21 years old. I want to tell you about something that happened to me about 6 months ago. Something that changed how I see the world. Something that made me realize how vulnerable we all are when we are alone on the road. This is not a story I wanted to experience, but it happened. And now I need to share it because maybe it will help someone else understand the danger that can come from seemingly nowhere. I was driving back to school from visiting my parents. The drive was about 2 hours. I had made this drive countless times before. 100 times maybe more. I knew every exit. I knew every stretch of highway. I was comfortable. I was relaxed. That is probably why I did not notice what was happening until it was too late. It was a Friday afternoon in October. The weather was nice. The sun was still high in the sky. I had about 6 more hours of daylight left. Traffic was moderate, not too heavy, not too light, just normal highway traffic, the kind where you can maintain your speed and make good time. I was driving my dad's old pickup truck. It was a 1995 Ford F-150. Not much to look at. The paint was faded. The bumper had a dent. The bed was rusted in places. But the engine ran well. My dad kept it maintained. So I trusted it. I was in the leftmost lane of a 3-lane highway. Highway 75 heading north. I had music playing on the radio, some pop music station. Nothing special, but I was happy. I was singing along, dancing a little bit in my seat. The kind of thing you do when you think nobody is watching. When you are alone in your car and you just let loose. That is when I noticed the semi-truck. It was a big rig. White cargo truck with a black cab, the kind you see all over the highways, a company logo on the side, something Pennsylvania-based. I did not read it carefully, I just noticed it was there. The truck was in the rightmost lane, the slow lane, going about the same speed as me. At first, I did not think anything of it. There are semi-trucks on highways constantly. Hundreds of them every day. They are just part of the scenery, part of the road. I did not pay it special attention. But then I realized the driver was looking at me. Not just glancing, actually looking. His head was turned toward my truck. His eyes were on me. I felt my face get hot immediately. I felt embarrassed. He had caught me singing and dancing like nobody was watching, like I was alone. But I was not alone. There was someone right there watching me the whole time. I felt stupid. I stopped singing immediately. I stopped dancing. I put my hands back on the wheel in the proper position. I tried to act professional, tried to act like I was not just being silly. Tried to act like I was a serious driver, and I tried to speed up. I wanted to get away from him. I wanted to put distance between my truck and his semi. I wanted to get into a different lane, get ahead of him, get out of his line of sight. So I pressed down on the accelerator. Not too hard, just enough to increase my speed. He increased his speed too. I looked over at him again. He was still looking at me, still in the same relative position, still in the right lane. But now he was going faster, matching my speed exactly, like we were connected, like whatever speed I went, he would go that same speed. And he was smiling. It was a big smile, not a normal, friendly smile. Something felt off about it. Something felt wrong. His teeth were visible. His face was stretched in this wide grin. His eyes were looking right at me. I did not smile back. I looked forward at the road. I tried to ignore him. I tried to pretend I had not noticed. I tried to act like this was normal, like this was just another driver on the highway, but it was not normal. I increased my speed again, 80 miles per hour, then 85. My little pickup truck was not built for highway speeds like this. It was not made for high-speed driving, but I pushed it. I pushed it harder than I probably should have. He kept up. Every time I sped up, he sped up. Every time I slowed down, he slowed down. We were moving in perfect synchronization, like we were dancing, like we were choreographed, and the whole time he was still smiling. Then he started waving. He took one hand off the steering wheel and he waved at me. A big, exaggerated wave, like he was waving at someone he knew, someone he was excited to see. His smile got even bigger. His waving got more enthusiastic. I did not know what to do. Part of me thought maybe I was overreacting. Maybe this guy was just being friendly. Maybe he thought I was someone he knew. Maybe he was just trying to be nice. So I waved back. Just a small wave. A polite wave. A wave that said, "Okay, fine, you seem friendly." That was my mistake. As soon as I waved back, his whole demeanor changed. His smile became even wider. His waving became more intense. He seemed to get excited. He seemed happy that I had waved back. He seemed to think this was some kind of interaction, some kind of connection between us. Then he moved. He changed lanes. He moved from the right lane to the middle lane. Now he was directly beside me. Now he was closer. Now I could see him more clearly. He was a middle-aged man, balding on top, tan skin like he spent a lot of time in the sun. He was wearing a dirty blue t-shirt, the kind that was stained and worn, like it had not been washed in a while. And his face was terrifying. His smile was not a natural smile. It was stretched, unnatural, like his face was being pulled in directions it was not supposed to go. His eyes were intense, almost hypnotic. They locked on to mine and they did not look away. Then he held up his hand. He raised his right hand and held up one finger. Just the index finger, the number 1 sign. Over and over again. He held it up to the window. He was pointing at me with one finger, over and over, holding it there, making sure I saw it. I did not understand what he meant. I still do not understand what that sign meant. Was he telling me I was number 1? Was he telling me I was his target? Was he trying to communicate something? I do not know. All I know is that my instinct was screaming at me to get away. My gut was telling me something was very wrong. I looked forward at the road. There were cars ahead of me. A sedan about 3 car lengths ahead. Another pickup truck ahead of that. A minivan beyond that. All going around the same speed I was going. I was trapped behind them. I could not move forward. So I pressed the accelerator harder. I pushed my truck up to 90 miles per hour. My little Ford was not built for this speed. It was shaking. The engine was straining. The steering felt weird, like the truck was not stable at this speed. But I did not care. I just wanted to get away. He kept up. His semi-truck kept pace with me, like it was nothing. Like going 90 miles per hour in a semi was easy. Like he was not even trying. He was right there beside me, still smiling, still waving, still holding up that one finger. My hands were shaking on the wheel now. Fear was building inside my chest. Real fear. Not the kind you feel from a horror movie. Real fear. The kind that comes from a genuine threat. The kind that tells your body that you are in danger. I tried to slow down. I took my foot off the accelerator. I let my truck coast. I applied the brakes gently. I was trying to get behind the traffic in front of me. I was trying to use other cars as a barrier between me and this truck driver. But he would not let me. Whenever I slowed down, he slowed down too. Whenever I tried to position myself behind another car, he would move to block my path. He would cut off other drivers. He would put himself between me and safety. He was trapping me. I realized at that moment that this was intentional. This was not some friendly driver trying to say hello. This was someone who had decided he wanted something from me. Someone who had decided he was going to keep me here. Someone who had decided he was not going to let me escape. That is when I made the decision to call for help. I pulled out my phone with one hand. I kept the other on the steering wheel. I was shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone, but I managed to dial 911. I pressed the call button and I waited for someone to answer. A dispatcher came on the line. Her voice was calm and professional. She asked me what my emergency was. I told her I was being followed. I told her there was a semi-truck following me on the highway. I told her the driver was matching my speed. I told her he would not leave me alone. She asked me to describe the truck. My voice was shaky as I told her. White cargo truck, black cab, company logo from Pennsylvania on the side. She asked me to describe the driver. I told her he was a middle-aged man, balding, tan, dirty blue t-shirt. She told me to pull off the emergency shoulder on the left. I looked at the shoulder. It was narrow. Very narrow. Too narrow, in my opinion. If I pulled over there and the semi-truck decided to ram me, there would be nowhere for me to go. I would be trapped. I told her I could not do that. She asked why. I told her the shoulder was too narrow. I told her I did not feel safe pulling over there. I told her he was still right beside me and I was afraid he would follow me. She was quiet for a moment. Then she told me about a service plaza, about 5 miles ahead. She said there would be other people there. She said the semi-truck would probably not follow me there. She said it was too public. She said other people would be there and I would be safe. I wanted to believe her. I held on to that hope like a lifeline. 5 miles. I just had to make it 5 more miles. I just had to stay ahead of this truck for 5 more miles, and then I would be safe. Then there would be people. Then I would not be alone. I merged into the middle lane slowly. I was still going faster than I should have been, around 85 miles per hour. The truck was still right beside me, still smiling, still waving, still holding up that one finger. I was passing a sedan now. It was in my way. I needed to get past it so I could get ahead of the truck driver. So I pushed a little harder on the accelerator. The sedan slowed down and I passed it. Now I could see more of the road ahead. The minivan was still ahead. The pickup truck beyond that. But I had more space now, more room to move. The truck driver was still keeping pace with me, though. He was still right there. The sign for the service plaza appeared on the right. Exit in 2 miles. I felt a surge of hope. 2 miles. Only 2 miles now. I could see it coming. I could see the end of this ordeal coming. I just needed to make it 2 more miles. And then I would be free. The truck driver was still beside me. 1 mile to the exit. I was counting down. 1 mile. Less than 1 mile. Half a mile. A quarter mile. I could see the exit sign clearly now. I could see the ramp leading off the highway. I could see the service plaza in the distance. I was going to make it. I was not using my turn signal. I did not want to give him any warning. I did not want to tell him where I was going. I just wanted to surprise him by cutting across the lanes and taking the exit. I was 99% sure he would not follow me. The dispatcher had said he probably would not follow me. I thought maybe he would just keep going on the highway. Maybe he would realize that his little game was not working and he would move on to someone else. I cut across the lanes hard. I moved from the left lane to the middle lane, from the middle lane to the right lane. My truck was shaking. The tires were squealing a little bit. But I made it across. I was on the exit ramp now. I could see the service plaza ahead. I checked my mirror, expecting to see the semi-truck continuing on the highway, expecting to see him getting smaller in the distance, expecting to see him disappearing. He was not there. For a second, I thought I was free. For a second, I thought he had actually just kept going. For a second, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. Then I saw him. The semi-truck was right behind me. He had swerved hard. He had cut off traffic. He had made the same exit. He was directly behind my truck on the exit ramp. My heart sank. The dispatcher was still on the phone with me. I told her he followed me. I told her he was right behind me. I told her I was at the service plaza. My voice was higher pitched now, panicked, scared. She told me to go inside immediately. The service plaza had a weird layout. Semi-trucks had to use a separate entrance. They had to wind around to the right. They had to go to a parking lot in the back. Regular cars parked out front, right in front of the building. I drove straight to the front. I parked my truck right in front of the entrance, right where everyone could see me, right where there were lots of people. I could see families inside. I could see other travelers. I could see employees working behind the counter. I got out of my truck and ran inside. The dispatcher was still with me on the phone. She was telling me police were almost there. She was telling me to stay inside. She was telling me to go find a place with lots of people around. I went to the main area of the service plaza. There were people everywhere. People buying snacks, people using the bathroom, people sitting at tables eating. An older couple looking at maps, a family with kids, a group of truck drivers drinking coffee. All these people, all these witnesses, all this safety. But I was still scared. I called the dispatcher back. I gave her an update. I told her where I was. I told her I was inside now. I told her I was safe. She said police were on their way. She said they would be there soon. She said to stay calm, but I could not stay calm. I looked out the window. The semi-truck was in the parking area. He was parked in the truck section. The driver was getting out. He was looking around. He was scanning the area. He was looking for something. He was looking for me. I watched as he walked around. He seemed to be searching the parking lot, looking at cars, looking at people, trying to find something specific. Then he found my truck. He walked over to it slowly. He approached it like he was examining evidence at a crime scene. He looked at it from different angles. He looked at the license plate. He looked at the damaged bumper. He looked inside through the windows. He was confirming. He was making absolutely sure it was my truck. It was my truck. Then he started walking toward the building. I told the dispatcher. I told her he was coming inside. I told her I was terrified. She told me to lock myself in a bathroom stall. She told me to get away from windows. She told me to not engage with him under any circumstances. I moved deeper into the building. I moved away from the main area. I moved away from where I could be easily seen. I went to an area that was more private, more secluded. There was a hallway that led to bathrooms and other areas of the building. I positioned myself there. I waited. Minutes passed like hours. I did not see him come inside. Maybe he did not. Maybe he gave up. Maybe the dispatcher was right. Maybe police would arrive before he did anything else. Maybe I was overreacting. Then I saw him. Through a window, I could see him outside. He was standing by a pillar in front of the building. He was partially hidden behind it, but he was still there. He was still watching. He was still looking toward my truck. He was still smiling. That same horrible smile. I called the dispatcher again. She said police were almost there, less than 2 minutes. She said I just needed to hold on just a little bit longer. I watched him. He came out from behind the pillar. He stopped hiding. He walked slowly toward my truck. He was moving deliberately, like there was no rush, like he had all the time in the world. He started circling my truck. Over and over, he walked around it, slowly, methodically. He was examining every inch. He was looking at the doors. He was looking at the windows. He was looking for something. A way in, maybe. A weakness. A way to open a locked door. I could not take it anymore. I ran to my truck. I unlocked it with my key fob. I got in and locked the doors immediately behind me. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst out of my chest. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the steering wheel. I started the engine. I put it in drive. The dispatcher was telling me to stay calm. She was telling me police were right there. She was telling me to wait for police to arrive and handle the situation. But I could not wait anymore. I saw him run toward my truck when he realized I was getting away. I saw him waving his arms. I saw him trying to get my attention. I saw him coming straight at me. I floored the accelerator. My truck shot forward. I drove away from the service plaza. I drove back toward the highway. I did not care if I cut people off. I did not care if I drove recklessly. I just needed to get away from him. I just needed to put distance between us. In my mirror, I watched him. He did not chase me. He did not run after my truck. He did not try to follow me in his semi. He just stood there, watching me drive away. That same smile on his face, that same creepy expression. I drove all the way home. I called my dad from the road. I told him everything that happened. He was furious. He was protective. He wanted to report it immediately to the police. He wanted to press charges. He wanted to find this man and make sure he never did this to anyone else. But I told him not to. I told him I just wanted to forget about it. I told him I did not want to deal with the police or the legal system. I told him I just wanted to move on. He did not understand, but he respected my wishes. Since that day 6 months ago, I have not driven alone on a highway. Not once. My dad insists on driving me to school now. My boyfriend drives me when he can. My mother will drive me if my dad is not available. I refuse to be alone in a car on a highway. That smile, that face, that feeling of being trapped, it stays with me. It wakes me up in the middle of the night. It makes me paranoid when I see semi-trucks. It makes me anxious on the road. I do not know what that man wanted. I do not know what his intentions were. I do not know if he would have hurt me or if he just wanted to scare me. I do not know what that one finger sign meant. But I know this. I will never forget that drive. I will never forget how quickly things went from normal to terrifying. I will never forget that smile, and I will never drive alone on a highway again.